don't know if our other three are gonna come, so I'm gonna start. Okay. I'm Rachel. I'm the acupuncturist here. I'm so excited you guys are here. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. And so to get us a little feel for the room, let's go around and we'll have you say your name, your Chinese zodiac, if you know it. If you don't know it, you can either whisper in my ear the year, we can figure it out, or on the back of your sheet, we'll just have you open up and you can find your year. And then we'll say something you guys are interested in pulling in and manifesting this year. So I'll start. I'm Rachel, I'm a horse, and I'm looking for a little play and a little rest, but I already did my stuff for the year, so I kind of know that that's probably what I need. We'll start over here.
I'm Jen, and I just learned I'm a metal rooster. And I'm looking for growth and intuition this year.
I'm Jessica. I am a fire dragon, and this year I'm looking for smooth waves.
I'm Aiden. I believe I'm a wood pig, and this year I can use some more gratefulness in my life.
We want to go back here for the circle around.
I'm Leslie.
I'm dragon.
I guess for this year, I'm looking for more peace and more adventures.
She's a dragon.
Oh, I said that.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
just very quiet.
A quiet dragon. Alright.
Do you want me to go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my name's Farah, and I'm a dragon also. And for this next year, I'm looking for more strength, body-wise, and more adventure.
Awesome.
I'm Zia. I'm a fire ox, I believe, and I'm looking for change and grounding.
Come back up here.
My name is Marie. I'm a snake, and I am looking for more peace and more play this year.
Melissa?
I'm Melissa. I'm a pig, and this year I'm looking for clarity and unease.
I'm Celine, and I'm a rooster, and looking for stability.
I'm Simon. I'm a tiger, and this year I'm looking for reinvention.
I'm Sophie, and I'm a horse, and I'm looking for more compassion.
And Josh is running around, he's a goat. We're horses and goats, they go well together. Calm me down. So, yeah, when we talk about the new year, there's a tendency, especially on online Chinese astrology, we get a little wrapped up in this Hong Kongese kind of astrology. Is it the year to get rich? Is it the year to find love? Fulfillment? So, but the lineage that I studied in for Chinese astrology really talks about self-acceptance as kind of the highest thing we could ask for, because everything else comes pretty easily once we can accept ourselves, right? So that peace with your own character, it's kind of this character we're going to talk about. Each of you went around. That's your style of sort of unraveling your own fate to get to your destiny. So, but bear with me. We're going to be talking about a basic direction, but you are all in charge of looking at the landscape. I'm going to give you a map, but don't be that person who's like looking at the map and not paying attention to, the beautiful landscape. And that's your job, is to sort of get in touch with how to jive with this dragon chi, because it's going to be really different than last year. we came from the year of the water rabbit, which is it's a very small animal of prey, or so it's got these big ears. And it's listening for all of its predators and what wants to come in and eat it. So the sensitivity is keyword for last year, and what we learned from that was what was just below the surface. So maybe within relationships, within our communities, and certainly in our global community, we kind of woke up to some things that were happening just below the surface. And so especially, but also in our own subconscious, in our own, whoa, I believed that? What? Like it came out, and so the dragon chi is all about learning how to transform that. So we're gonna have this very different type of chi, kind of like we're coming from the ocean, and we're bursting up with this dragon chi. And so there's a color associated with the dragon. It's called Qing. It doesn't have a good translation in English. We say blue-green, but there's not really an exact color for that. And if you ask perhaps a Chinese, like someone who's got a little bit of background in it, in some of the Chinese lore, they say it's the color of a dragon scale when the sunlight hits it as it comes up out of the water. So that's kind of the mystical power of this dragon chi. If you can capture that, it's really instantaneous. It's kind of an explosion. So we're gonna get that type of chi. It's gonna be a little tumultuous though, so hold on. Trim your sails and harness that energy. So this wood dragon is a very young dragon. We just came from the water rabbit, which is, when we look at the 5 elements as a life cycle, wood is the youth, fire is young adulthood, earth is sort of child-rearing age, metal is retired but still pretty young, and then water is this old age of wisdom. So we've got this very young dragon coming up out of the water, and so that we call it the laughing dragon. And there's a playfulness about this laughing dragon. So a little bit naivety, but there's a lot of passion and fire coming with that dragon. There's also a benevolence to the dragon, especially this wood dragon. So I think of that childlike benevolence where you're sharing something because it feels good. You don't even know that you're going to get something in return. Sort of, like someone asks, "Can I have one?" And you're like, "Yeah, that's the last one here." And I was thinking about this type of energy, and I reflected on, I was helping a friend's daughter clean up her room a couple of years ago, and we were putting away her clothes and putting her clothes in the laundry, and she's like, "I only wear that a few times, and it's not dirty. It's still fine. I don't want to overwash things because I don't want to hurt the barrier reef and hurt the fishies." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute and so pure." So that pure benevolence is going to be with us this year. Well, with our modern image of the dragon, we don't have a lot of personal experience with this dragon, right? All the other animals, we were like, I know what a goat acts like. But dragons, I don't know if anybody's met a dragon. I haven't met one. But the actual ancient symbol of the Chinese dragon was a more composite image. So kind of that rabbit head with the deer antlers, maybe a tiger body and ox hooves. So it's always changing. It's this like outer transformation happening. And a good example of a dragon who might know is Che Guevara. He's Earth Dragon, so a little more developed, but he began his life as kind of a sickly child, and his family had to move to find a place with better air, and then he became a doctor because he was interested in, I was sick as a child, and he became the doctor of a revolution, and then he became the leader of a revolution. And then he went to be the leaders of other revolutions outside of, where he started. And then, of course, he was killed. But he lives on, like, on tattoos, on T-shirts, on everything as this symbol of revolution. So that's Dragon Chi. It's driven, it's passionate, maybe a little conniving, a little, let's get the job done. Okay, we'll make sure we pull in all the right people. So that's what's coming at us. It's very simple compared to last year. The rabbit is really complex. It's like it's a party where it's invite only, no plus one. Dragon Chi is like a party where everyone's invited. So simple, like an explosion. But how do we harness that? That's going to be up to you all, and it's going to be a little different for all of us, depending on what animal sign you were born in. Of course, there's much more nuance in Chinese astrology, so this is a really basic and precise generality. Use your view of the landscape and understanding how you're jiving with it. So as I read through these, one common thought would be like, why can't I have them all? And that's, Confucius would say, what stupidity. You are who you are, and recognize that within the Tao, or the way things operate, kind of roughly, you've always been a perfect part of it. So this is not an urging or trying. The viewpoint is to just accept. So, here we go. We start with the rat. We don't have any rats in here, but you guys are going to have, if you have rat friends, you can certainly take some notes here, or rat family members. 3-star year for the rat. Rats maybe felt a little bit lost after the last few years. They have a really close-in, detail-oriented energy. So they're the ones who can pick up the fragments and the scraps. But maybe they've been collecting from their magazines their little cutouts, this is great for a vision board. But they haven't had this platform, this space to put a vision board together. But finally, the dragon has this energy where you can put that vision together. It's going to help them find meaning in their relationships, in their goals. So it's a really good year for rats to set a goal and really start to move forward. We say strut your stuff when it's kind of the year where your energy is going to be taken forth. Oxes. Do we have an ox? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's 2-star. And one note on these stars, I've got them 1 to 3. 1 does not necessarily, welcome, have a seat. Thanks for coming, you can drop shoes at the door if you're comfortable. So 1 star is kind of, it's not necessarily to say it's a bad year. It's saying, hold back, just rest. Don't push your agenda. 3 stars is like, yeah, strut your stuff. It's time to shine, and your ability to pick up this dragon chi is it's strong, and so be yourself no matter what. So the oxes, 2 stars. So when we look at what you share with the dragon, you have this sort of terrestrial force, like you can plow the field and do what you're told, and go nose to the grindstone. But you're very benevolent and generous, and so is the dragon. So that's going to be in alignment with this year. However, the dragon is very unpredictable. So if you're looking for that assignment to plow straight, you're not going to get it. It's going to be a new thing, every month or every week. Who knows? So there's also a childish sort of playtime energy that's going to come about, and sometimes that's not very fitting for the ox. So just take a rest, save your strength, because we'll need you for the year of the snake. It's a little bit more of your speed. And if you need help, finding your rat or monkey friends is really advantageous to how to cope with this dragon chi. Or your dragon friends, they're fine too. But they're probably going to tell you, maybe change your routine a little bit. It's time. Tiger. Do you have any tigers up there? Yes. Okay. It's going to be a great year for tigers. So 3 stars. You guys share boldness. There's often depictions of the dragon and the tiger fighting each other, but almost like for like a jujitsu match where you're doing it for fun, for play. And so that boldness, go forward with it, you know. The only thing that you have to take into account is or tigers have a striped quality to them. They have their light side and their dark side. Their light side is they're running around, terrorizing a village, eating whatever they want, and their dark side is resting and digesting whatever they just ate way too much of. And so be careful not to go in too hard, you know. That's going to be your only, as a yang-oriented symbol, to just don't do too much. Don't take on too much. So just hold off a little bit. Okay, rabbits, 2 stars. Anybody a rabbit out there? I don't think we had any. So rabbits, it was just your year, but it's a little different to be in the spotlight as a rabbit versus a dragon. The rabbit, it's kind of a relief to be out of the spotlight, frankly. So that resting and nesting time that you kind of did in the spotlight, and you helped us pull forward a lot of things that were just kind of under the surface. And that's great, but now it's time to transform that. So the dragon she can help you with that. There's a similar quality between the dragon and the rabbit, and they share a bit of luck and transformation. So just be thankful that you're not on stage anymore. The dragon she can be a little bit unnerving for you, so don't sweat it. You have to just take a rest. Dragons, we got a lot of you guys in here, so it's gonna be a great year because you do well on stage. You step up, and so your charm, your energy, and skills will be really well received this year. As we see the dragon as this constant recombining of different animals, this sort of composite. That costume changing is really unnerving for a lot of us, but this year you guys are in style. So with that, you have to remember to come back down to earth. It's not about just your vision, it's about who you pull in, and so there's a bit of remembering to come back to who you need, and don't get too carried away in your vision. Remember, we need those people. So the rat and monkey are your usual co-conspirators. But we do need you. We need your energy to help transform this world for the better, because it's time, right? So, snake. You need a snake? You got a snake. Here we go. Okay, snakes, 2 stars. Although you come right after the dragon, you're kind of an opposite. There's a yin-yang alternation that we go through in this whole cycle. And so where the dragon has this amazing ability to change on the outside, the snake is kind of this coy, mystical transformation from the inside. So the composite changing of the animals of the dragon, you prefer to just shed your skin like quietly, kind of like a little whisper. Maybe the way a dragon exits the party is like, bye everyone! And the snake is the king or queen of the Irish goodbye. And you might look like you're kind of coy, but you're kind of questioning whether you want to be at the party or not. So there's that ability to exit, but you teach us a lot through that. So charge yourself up, because you're going to teach us a lot next year. Horses. This is a 1-star year for horses. We have a lot of energy to ride the ups and downs, so it might be tempting to dive in, but it's going to be unnerving a little bit. Horses are spookable; they kind of become unsettled. So that, like the ox, the horse and the ox have this similar terrestrial sort of force. The dragon, celestial energy is such a different type of force that it's not one to try and keep up with. It's just to, unlike the ox, the horse is kind of a little more okay with playtime. So this is the year for horses to play and to say, okay, I need a rest. I'll take the night off from working hard at the things. And horses are good friends with tigers, so it's kind of a good ally to take into account and say, how are you dealing with this? So, goats, 1 star also. This past year was a little respite from a few tricky years. You achieved great things, but that was kind of a little false summit. We're kind of going back down into a valley. Unlike the dragon, you're very community-minded, and that's how you lead. In the Chinese vision of what the animal kingdom looks like, it's not the lion who's in charge, it's the goat or ram or sheep. So even the symbol has the symbol for king in it in Chinese astrology, or Chinese characters. So I kind of imagine this like does anybody watch The Office? Like Michael Scott. I think Michael Scott is not a perfect example of goat sheep, but he's very like kumbaya kind of energy, and the dragon is like maybe like Andy. He's kind of conniving. He's like, we're gonna do this thing that's kind of great. So that energy kind of butts heads. But we really need our goats this year because we do need to work together, and we do need to all be included. So it'll be a tough year, but within this challenging year, it will be a good year for them to figure out a little bit more about who they are. So, monkeys. Any monkeys? No? Okay. It's a 3-star year for monkeys. This is their year. It's finally a year where someone is in charge who has the tenacity, so to which they can apply their ingenious spontaneity. Their non-committal attitude is perfect for the shape-shifting dragon. And in fact, monkeys actually thrive in that unordered chaos. So we need the rats, we need the dragons, and we need the monkeys to work together. We call you the political trio, and the way that works is the dragon is the figurehead, the dragon's the vision maker, the rat is out data collecting, so finding all the little pieces, and then the monkey's the spin doctor. The monkey's spinning everything up in the air, catching all the balls at once. And the way in which that functions is the political trio represents governance as an upright expression. And the monkey's the one holding the duct tape, holding it all together. So they're, as also a yang-oriented symbol, their only caution here is have fun, but don't swing off a cliff. Roosters, 2 stars. Okay, so roosters have had a rough year, and if you survived without any major injuries, congratulations. It's been a real test of your resilience and flexibility. Nothing made sense, but that's because you thrive on clarity of facts, and the rabbit just picks up on everything, often emotionally based. So sensical, nonsensical, you can't logic through emotions. It just doesn't work. But as roosters are also really good at delaying their gratification, almost more than any other animal in the zodiac. So this is the reward. The dragon's going to bring you some meaning, and there'll finally be room for your precision and meticulous nature. Your exquisite knowledge, and that combined with that vision of the dragon, is going to be a really good combination to make strides towards your goals. So perk up your feathers and puff up your chest. Dog. Give me a dog. Dogs here. Okay. Dogs. This isn't quite your year. It's 1 star. And if you're looking at that wheel, you can find dragons and dogs are exactly opposite. So if you think of like a tube that everybody's looking at our vision of reality through looking at the opposite sides. So, so the dog, its power comes from its power and nobility come from its strong sense of alliances, its sense of protectiveness and duty, and the dragon has no sense of alliances, only when it needs to hold people into getting what it wants done. And so stay in your cozy spot this year, dogs, on your little couch indentation. So with that, sort of looking through the other end of that scope, it's a good chance for self-reflection, even an exploration of your spiritual side and your relationships. So to a dog, this distance and a little disconnectedness, maybe distractedness of the dragon, she can make them feel a little bit like a failure, or like you've been betrayed. But this is, unlike last year, this is not the year to take things personally. It's not personal. If you've got any mantra for the year, dogs, it's not personal. But come year of the horse in 2026, it will be a good year again. Pig, okay. 2 stars. Pig put this all together, so if that demonstrates pig cheat, I don't know what does. This is the end of the cycle, and that's the perfect place for the pig, because you've gotten to know everyone, and you're already planning for the next party. This is because you have the most capacity for universal acceptance, right? Pigs can kind of digest anything. You give them whatever, they'll eat it. Known for your decadence and extraness qualities, you'll do well with the dragon's razzle dazzle. The thing you have in common with the dragon is inclusivity, but almost in that opposite spectrum. You have interest in everyone. Dragon has interest in no one, but there's an inclusivity quality to that. But interest in no one, like kind of like a celebrity who's showing up for their photo shoot and autograph with other people. I'm here. So with a party, all good things must come to an end. And as organically as they came together, they all dissolve. Everyone goes home, and this process really energizes the pig and engages them. So party on this year, pig, and I mean party in the sense of whatever it is that brings you joy, because next year will be a year to stay with those who are closest to you, as the difficult to discern chi of the snake comes to us. And that's our year. Any questions?
No, do you know what a sheep is?
Sheep and goat and ram are just different words for the same one.
Okay.
It was probably more of a Mongolian bighorn sheep that is their king of the animals that replaces our lions. Sheep, goat, ram. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Xinyan Kuai La in Mandarin. So yeah, we're gonna move on to Josh, who's gonna do some